When a prolific director adds another movie to their catalog, a shuffling occurs. In the case of Christopher Nolan, his new movie, The Odyssey, is out, but do I think it's his best movie? Now, what do I mean by his best? For me, best means most entertaining. I have 5 factors that determine my completely subjective opinion of what I consider entertaining. The first is there a hero to root for? Am I empathetic towards them? The second thing is familiarity. Is this a film that resonates with me? It doesn't have to follow a conventional path or plot, but do the characters, the narrative, etc., feel like something I have seen before? Number 3, how much do I have to think about this movie? If I have to think too hard to enjoy the film, I'm likely not going to be entertained by it. Number 4, fluid versus static. Is there something happening on the screen often enough to keep my mind and heart engaged? And number 5, it's runtime. Runtime, heroes, familiarity, mental gymnastics, and action on the screen factors into my entertainment value. So Christopher Nolan has 13 movies. Let's go ahead and start off what I think is his least entertaining movie, and that is Tenet. Tenet is a complex movie. That's all I really remember about it. The logline is a secret agent is given a single word as his weapon and sent to prevent the onset of World War III. He must travel through time and beyond the laws of nature in order to be successful in his mission. I cannot tell you what this movie is about. All I remember is that Robert Pattinson's in it. It breaks all 5 of my standards for an entertaining movie. No hero, nothing familiar, complex ideas, and a 2.5 hour runtime. Number 12, The Odyssey. And I know that just came out. You say, Paul, why do you have that solo? Well, I'll give you an example. I saw years ago Natural Born Killers when it came out, and it was supposed to be an event, a spectacle, and it was a violent movie. But a spectacle isn't always entertaining. The Odyssey was a spectacle, a retelling of an old tale, but because I'm familiar with the story, I don't need to root for Odysseus. I just had to watch him. The runtime was almost 3 hours, and there were spots of entertainment, such as the scene with Circe and the last 30 minutes of the film. But it took 2.5 hours to get there. Concerning the action, there was just not enough blood for me. Those armored giants should have been cutting people in half, which would have been far more entertaining for me. Number 11, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, again, is a story I'm familiar with, but not with the process. Cillian Murphy is a fantastic actor surrounded by other fantastic actors like Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt. And whereas The Odyssey and Oppenheimer are both kind of biopics, the fluidity of Oppenheimer was more entertaining. This movie is 3 hours long, but the human interaction is what entertained me. Number 10, The Prestige. Magic. Who doesn't like magic? This film was entertaining enough, but in my book, I hated both Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman's characters, and by the end of the movie, I almost didn't care about who had bested who. They both lost in my book. Michael Caine is a delight as always, and the runtime is 2 hours and 10 minutes. The use of Nicholas Tesla had me guessing how this film was going to end, and that was what made this film entertaining. Number 9, The Following. The Following is Nolan's first attempt at Memento. I had a lot of the same thoughts during the movie as I did when I watched Memento. Where did he get that scar? Who beat him up? And like The Prestige, this movie also has no heroes, only the lesser of two evils. Its runtime is only an hour and 10 minutes, and I enjoyed that the movie was presented in the noir style. Number 8, Memento. This is a highly stylized version of The Following, where you have to guess what's happening, and I am genuinely rooting for Leonard Shelby, played by Guy Pearce. And oddly, I find myself rooting for Joe Pantoliano, even though he's killed in the onset of the movie. The twist, the mix of emotions, the empathy towards Teddy and Leonard is what makes this movie entertaining. Number 7, Interstellar. The whole reason this movie works is because Matthew McConaughey is so likable. McConaughey is entertaining, but by my own factors of entertainment, namely complexity and runtime, this movie should be lower down the list, but it's not, because I'm rooting for Cooper to get back to his daughter. Because I'm a science fiction fan, wormholes are nothing new to me, and it gave me a sense of familiarity in spite of its complexity. Number 6, Dunkirk. Yes, another historical piece, but one I was not really familiar with, so watching this play out was entertaining. I was less interested in whether the two soldiers trying to go AWOL lived and escaped, or died, and I was far more invested in the pilot Farrier, played by Tom Hardy, low on fuel and the choices he was making, as well as Mr. Dawson, played by Mark Rylance, and his son driving that boat to go rescue his fellow soldiers. Dunkirk was 1 hour and 46 minutes and was beautifully shot. There were moments of high drama, and I also enjoyed seeing the elder statesman Kenneth Branagh on the screen. Number 5, Insomnia. This is a simple pick for me. Watching Al Pacino and Robin Williams play cat and mouse is entertaining. It's an hour and 58, and I rooted for Pacino because he was a conflicted hero. Did he really shoot his partner because he was going to tell internal affairs about his past misdeeds? I think this is left open for interpretation. This movie felt familiar in the best way. Ellie Burr, played by Hilary Swank, is a fan of Pacino's character, Detective Will Normer, and she is watching her hero come undone. In the end, Burr has to make a choice, one made easier by Will Dormer, and so seals his redemptive arc. Number 4, Inception. Am I a hypocrite because I put Inception above Interstellar because of its complexity? No, because Inception feels more familiar. Why? Because of Freddy Krueger. My mind understands going into the dreams because of him. This is Ocean's 11 with dreams. It's a heist movie with one of the best endings to a Nolan film. You had everyone clocking into work with Leonardo DiCaprio and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Tom Hardy. Yes, it's 2.5 hours long, but the screen kept my mind and heart engaged to where I did not notice the runtime. Now we come to the top 3, which by now you should be able to easily guess them. The question is, what order? Now, I won't go into detail about these next 3 because I think they speak for themselves and check all the boxes for my entertainment value. A hero worth rooting for, Batman is familiar, the stories are not super complex, lots of action on the screen. The runtimes hover around the 2.5 hour mark, but these stories are so engaging, it makes the runtime worth it. At number 3, Batman Begins. A good origin story. Christian Bale makes a good Bruce Wayne as well as a great Batman. Liam Neeson and Cillian Murphy make great villains. Michael Caine is a great Alfred. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox is a joy to watch. It's nearly impossible for this movie to not be entertaining. Number 2, The Dark Knight Rises. Tom Hardy as Bane, Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is always on point. I would have loved to have seen him in a Nightwing movie. And number 1, The Dark Knight. 2 words, Heath Ledger. Pure entertainment. Checks all the boxes. And I wish Christopher Nolan would take on something more modern like Batman. Christopher Nolan films are a lot like fried food. If you don't change the oil in your fire, everything starts to taste the same. Long run times, static screen, no heroes. And I think Christopher Nolan has some great stories to tell. I think he's a great storyteller. I think he's a great filmmaker. I just wish he would make more movies for the common man like me. But this is my list of Nolan films put in order of entertainment value. Feel free to scream in the comments. How do you define an entertaining movie? What is your criteria? Or how would you have ranked Nolan's films by their entertainment value? Comment down below. If you want to see my out of the theater review of the Odyssey, well, check out this video right here. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. So for today, I'll scream at you later.